In today's video, I'm going to explain why good and evil people don't exist. I'm going to start off with disproving the existence of evil. I feel like when most people think of evil, they think of one of two things. Either they think of Hitler and his atrocities, or they think of a serial killer who tortures his victims. I'm going to start off with Hitler, as I think that most people would have a harder time believing that he is not evil. As a child, Hitler was beaten daily. He was even put into a coma by his father. So he was taught that cruelty was the way of the world. Hitler was an aspiring painter who was turned away by the Jewish community in Vienna. So Hitler tried to change from his cruel upbringing to a life of creativity, but he was spurned. At some point in everyone's life, they've all been wronged, and we want to get back at those who have wronged us. Hitler took his desire to get back at the Jews and applied his cruel religious upbringing to it. He believed the Jews treated him badly, and he used them to provide a platform to gain political power. So all he did was take the worldview that was instilled in him as a child, that cruelty was part of life, and then he used cruelty to get back at the people who wronged him. This is something that resonates with all of us. The only difference is how far he took it. To his friends and companions, he was without cruelty or malice, even adored by them. I mean, this image of a child is happier than many of the images that we see of presidents in current day. How many times have we heard quotes like, the end justifies the means, or something like the prince from Machiavelli? There are many individuals in our society who advocate cruelty to achieve their goals. We don't see them as evil, we just see them as good businessmen. While you ponder that, let's move on to serial killers. Wow, that is a lot of middle-aged white dudes. Privileged white male tears, anyone? Anyway, back on topic. Serial killers all the way back to Jack the Ripper follow the same pattern as Hitler. They were abused at a young age. They target the type of person who abused them, and then they abuse those people so that they can feel power. This is called the circle of abuse. And just like Hitler, they had friends and others who they weren't cruel to. Ted Bundy had significant childhood trauma. He grew up and killed at least 20 women, but he never harmed his girlfriend or her daughter. Let's talk about what's natural. We're all aware of how brutal nature is. We've all heard the stories of predators playing with their prey. The only difference between those animals and us are our morals. But the people who we want to view as evil weren't raised with those morals. They were raised with a kill or be killed mentality. And we want to believe that we are different from these individuals. But no one is good because we're all selfish. Everyone, on a daily basis, decides to destroy life so that they can maintain their own existence. And don't think that vegetarians get a pass on this one, because they don't. I could go into how insecticides work, but let's just say that it's not a pleasant way to die. To survive, we must all selfishly value our life over other life. How can that be described as good? To recap, the people that we want to label as evil are a little different than that cat playing with a bird. They lack the morals of our society, but in most cases, it has something to do with having shitty parents. But that's not to blame the parents, because the nature of animals is to lack empathy for that which they destroy. How can anyone with the deaths of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of plants and animals on their hands be considered good? The difference between what we want to label as good and what we want to label as evil is solely based on what we, as a society, have arbitrarily decided what is okay and not okay to torture and kill. This has been yet another old white guy giving out his thoughts and opinions to the world. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.